kind of walk us through exactly what happened this morning, what time y'all got the call, and when you decided you needed more help?
All right, this morning, December 9th, 2021, at approximately 1:30 a.m., the Anderson County Sheriff's Office received a 911 call from a neighbor of a residence on County Road 309 in the Frankston area, reporting multiple gunshots after having seen a person known to him enter the neighbor's home. Deputies responded and found a deceased male on the front porch of that residence. And from there, the investigation ensued. We learned that the alleged shooter, Robert Mason Eckert, was still on scene, and there were additional persons in the home who resided there. So the deputies dropped back into a holding pattern and established communication with Eckert, and were able to talk to him and allow him the opportunity to speak his mind and make decisions about the persons in the house whom he was holding against their will, but eventually released them one at a time until we were able to safely remove all the occupants of the home.
What else can you tell us about Eckert as far as age or anything like that?
He's a 38-year-old resident of Anderson County.
So one of the neighbors we spoke with, and I don't know how true this is or not, but it says that he was actually released from jail like a week ago. Is this true?
I'm unable to confirm that right now because I don't have that information.
Okay.
Can you tell us how many people were on the property during the incident?
There's multiple residents there, and there was a total of 5 that left the residence after this incident occurred.
When was everything secured?
It wasn't until early afternoon. It took quite a bit of time to talk to Mr. Eckert, and the deputies on scene were able to do that. We were assisted on scene by the Henderson County Sheriff's Office, Texas DPS, and both Palestine Police Department and Frankston Police Department to supplement the manpower at the scene and take our time, de-escalate the situation, and safely resolve it.
And so, how many were injured during this?
There were no other injuries except for the decedent.
And at this time, not releasing the identity, correct?
At this time, we're not releasing the identity of the decedent, as his next of kin have not been notified.
And where are we at right now as far as what's going to go forward?
A warrant charging Mr. Eckert with murder has been signed and issued by Judge Jeff Duran, the County Court of Law in Anderson County. He's in jail here and is awaiting arraignment for the official charges and setting of any bail or bond, if at all.
And excuse you might have said, but what caused the deceased? Was it a gunshot? And you may have said, but I just didn't catch it.
The decedent died as a result of multiple gunshot wounds. Judge James Todd, Precinct 3 of Anderson County, performed the on-scene inquest and ordered an autopsy to be performed at Forensic Medical Management in Tyler.
So do you happen to know why this occurred, like why the man, what his motive was?
I can't speak to motive right now. We don't have that information.
And is he currently in custody at this time?
Yes, Mr. Eckert is in custody at the Anderson County Jail.
Anything you'd like to add that we didn't cover, you think?
No, that pretty much sums it up.
I've got another question here. So,
Sure.
you know, Anderson County, I don't really hear much of stuff like this happening, you know, in the county, especially, you know, a city like Frankston. So can you kind of talk about, you know, the area and the community members? Is there any threat to the public? Do you think this is isolated?
No. I would believe this is an isolated incident as it occurred on private property, and it appears at this time that the shooter and the decedent knew each other.
Do you know the relationship between the two?
I don't know that.
Okay. And so, will you be continuing to update the community as this investigation continues?
Of any significant developments, yes, we'll make a release on those when appropriate.
So how long did it take for all of this to be completed?
Timeline?
It started at 1:30 and it didn't resolve until early afternoon. So, as a matter of fact, the deputies and the Texas Rangers are still on scene completing the on-scene investigation.
As we speak, they're still out.
as we speak. Yes, sir.
Is that pretty standard for a murder case?
Absolutely. I spent many years as a Texas Ranger assigned to this community, and we often were involved in the local law enforcement investigations of a felony nature, and we're continuing that because their services are very valuable to us.
Can you speak to, I mean, there was multiple agencies that were there. I mean, we saw UPS, we saw, your department, Henderson County, other police departments in the area. Why call so many people for a situation like this?
Well, we're a small rural county, and the Sheriff's Office, Anderson County Sheriff's Office, is facing manpower issues. That's a nationwide issue in law enforcement recruiting right now. So we needed additional personnel, not just at the scene, but in case other things in the county occurred, we would have manpower in order to take care of those as well. And that allows us to hold our position and de-escalate the situation as best we can.
Would you say, it's obviously there's one person that is deceased, but as far as everybody else in the house, do you think your officers did a good job at de-escalating the situation?
I believe they did because it was resolved without any further injury or death.
And when should we check back with you just to...
Give me until tomorrow morning, see if we have developments as the day progresses.
Yes, sir.
And so who was the first on the scene? What county or town?
Anderson County Sheriff's Office.
Okay.
It's in a rural part of the community near the city of Frankston, but actually out in the county.
Do we have the block?
300 block of,
300 block.
excuse me, 2,000 block of County Road 309.
When, where, why?
Yeah. All right, thank you. Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
yes.
I think that may be it. Just any other details that we're allowed to know at this time?
Not really, nothing that I can tell you. It's just the identity. We don't want to release that because of the notification of next of kin.
Well, was it like a domestic dispute, or what was the...
There is some indication that they know each other, but I don't know the nature of the relationship, so I couldn't speculate as to that.